So we've seen him now going after One Punch Man, Goblin Slayer, Rising of the Shield Hero. Well, guess what? Now it's One Punch Man.
Pathetic earthlings. Who can save you now?
Rush! Savior of the universe! Strange object imaged in the Imperial Vortex.
Okay, so we got a little bit of craziness going on. One Punch Man is in the crosshairs again, and this time they are accusing it of some pretty hateful stuff. So apparently there's this character named Blackluster, and they don't like how he looks. It's like, this time he's too dark for some people, but yet if the character is too light, then they go after him. Where's the middle ground here? He's either too dark or he's too light. No one's ever happy. Where is the middle ground? Why can't people just make the characters they want to make? I don't get it. I don't. But there's a lot of screeching going on about this. Every time somebody doesn't like something in an anime or a manga, they go nuts. And I find this always funny because Japan usually doesn't care. But of course, American companies do. And I think that's why they try to do this. They try to just keep pushing their thing. And they're hoping that maybe, just maybe, somebody from Japan will come in and bend the knee, maybe. But that's not going to happen because they don't care. They seem to have it figured out. They just ignore screechers and they make money. It's a sound business idea. But it seems like the American companies are just like, yeah, well, nah, I'm just going to go ahead and just bend the knee, lose money, and there you go. We've seen it with video games, certainly. Mass Effect Andromeda comes to mind with the Sarkeesian effect. She came in on and consulted for the game, and it got ruined. How were the sales on that game? I can also tell you that game was quite terrible. That's what happens when you bend the knee, and instead of just doing your game, you do check boxes first. There's nothing wrong with having, a diverse cast or anything like that, but it should work with the game. You shouldn't revolve the storytelling around the checkbox. The checkbox should come naturally into whatever you're making. That's how it should happen. That's just my personal opinion, but what do I know? I just spend money on things I like, so. Going to head over to One Angry Gamer for their version of the article because it put a few more things in there. Though that other website is a very good website. It's Sankaku Complex. Very good stuff over there as well. I'll be using them a little bit more. I didn't even know about them. That's the nice thing about One Angry Gamer is you can kind of go down like a hole of better websites to check out because they go and check some good sources. So always want to shout them out because if you're trying to escape shill media like these people who covered it and made it look like this is a serious, humongous problem, which it isn't. It's just the big screechers. No one is really upset about it besides the screechers. You can always go to the sites that matter, like One Angry Gamer, Bounding into Comics comes to mind, Niche Gamer. There's a few of them. And I try to give them the most love whenever they cover something. I like to use them as a lot of primary source because I think that they do a good job. Billy D's doing a good job on this as usual. Marvel could learn a thing from him. He doesn't make nearly as many mistakes as they do. Check us out. This is the back of a Marvel comic book that they were selling as a graphic novel. Gambit has his sights on his biggest scores yet, but he may end up over his head. It's a real comic book that you buy. What do their editors do? Sorry, I'm getting off on a little tangent on there, but Marvel Comics is so sad to me. So sad. Anyway, let's go over this. Another day, another series of outrage perpetuated by those with chronically shaft crap holes. This time, they're angry about a character in One Punch Man known as Blackluster, who is a muscle-bound, dark-skinned character. Apparently, depicting someone like this in a cartoon is now considered racist. Sankaku Complex is reporting that after seeing the character in the animated show, the intellectual slugs salivated for their next outrage parade slithered onto Twitter and began their march down the digital streets of social media. So I gotta admit, the first time when I saw this picture of this character, because I'm not caught up to wherever this is, and if he was in season 1, I don't remember him in season 1. But the first thing I thought of, he was just a black version of Saitama. That's the first thing that came to my mind. And I think my point holds merit because of the fact that when you have animators, I mean, this comes from a manga, so they're going to mimic the manga style, right? Usually the people that design the characters, all of the characters kind of have a similar style or a look. If you look at Akira Toriyama from Dragon Ball, for example, go look at some of his character designs for Dragon Quest or Chrono Trigger. They all kind of have the same style. And that's because it's just what they do. So I don't think there's anything inherently racist about this character. I think it's just, that's just the style of the animator. And he's going to make him look like he does. But like I was saying before, there's people that are literally saying he's too dark. But then again, if he was too light, they would say that it's a color thing. You know, he should be, why isn't he dark enough? It's an unpleasable crowd of people that will never be happy. So I know I say it, but I'll never understand it because a company sees these people outcry and they give in to them. And what do? They come back and they want more. And they give in to them and they come back and they want more. You think you would get to a point when you would say, maybe we stop giving in to these people and they'll stop. It's kind of like a little kid, you know, you kind of have to be firm with them and say, you need to stop now. And then they stop. But if you keep rewarding the behavior, they just keep coming back, man. So anyway, the herniating rapture of butt cheeks echoed throughout the Twitter sphere with a crack and a pop, loud enough to perk up the ears and pique the interest of the SJJ. So they point out, just like I did, comicbook.com was quick to swoop in, taking up umbrage on behalf of those who whined about the character and on the One Punch Man writing. This is what they say. This fan makes the case that it's arguably the racist depiction of a blockbuster is unique to the anime only, as the One Punch Man manga seemed much more genuine in its approach to drawing a black character. JC Staff's character design and lighting for the anime looks like it stepped right out of the 1930s B-Face cartoon. Seriously, the One Punch Man anime staff may need to reconsider how popular the anime is now. The diversity of the fan base is widespread, and with many people who've got to live in the saga of Saitama, just something to keep in mind. I look at the manga version, and I look at the anime version, and they look like they're the same thing. They're the same thing. I'm really not seeing a difference between the two of them, other than there's a dark room behind him. He's shaded in more naturally. He would be just as dark in the anime version. But it's like I pointed out before. We've seen instances like this where the character is too light, needs to be darker, and if he's too dark, well, it needs to be lighter. I don't understand. I don't get it. What you want. Is there a way to do this where no one's upset? Probably not. And I don't think the screeching will ever stop, no matter what it is. Unless people start slapping these kids' hands and saying, that's enough. So anyway, remember I was talking about the Pokemon stuff earlier? We can kind of get into that. I was going to cover that, but I don't know. I feel like it's kind of late. But they talk about it here. They say this is just another instance of the SJ types trying desperately to derail the Japanese media industry. Thankfully, when they tried that with Japanese artists who drew fan art of Nisa from Pokemon Sword and Shield, the artists quickly fired back by making more fair-skinned versions of Nisa to troll their detractors. I don't want to show you the whole tweet because, well, they're not bad, but I don't know how YouTube would take them. So this is actually a post from that person from the outrage and said, I draw a different version of Nisa from Pokemon Sword and Shield. You choose any type you want. Enjoy it. And they trolled the outrage mob by drawing like different versions of the character, but even lighter. Because that was the thing. They were mad because she's a darker character and they were drawing her lighter, which I want to point out they do a lot in Japan. That's not an unnormal thing. That's just what they do over there. It's almost hypocritical that they attack the Japanese people for their culture and the things they do and say that it's wrong. It's almost like, you know, they're the hateful, controlling ones. It might be a different story for another day. But anyway, I thought this was kind of funny. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Is this a bad design? If anybody disagrees with me, please let me know in the comments. You know, I'm always looking for some different opinions. Let me know what you think. Do you think that's offensive? Do you think it's wrong? I think it looks like a darker version of Saitama. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. like I was saying, it's the version, it's the style that they're doing. They literally mimic it right here with the manga version. They look the same to me. So maybe I'm going crazy. I don't know. Just let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear your opinions on this. Also, make sure you're still subscribed. Make sure you've still got that notification bell hit. And if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Throw a like up and a comment. Those things really do help. Also, if you could share the video, it does look like YouTube has been suppressing a lot of people, even me. That's why I have people tell me in my comments they've been unsubbed all the time. That's because, well, look at the stuff that I like to talk about. So anyway, thanks for watching. Check out the links. Check out the link to my Twitch, actually, too. I'd like to do some video game streams, build up that platform. I just need to get that follower count up over there. So I'd appreciate that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.